Welcome back everyone. So we are on to the race now. If you haven't seen the qualifying clip, you can go through my YouTube and look it up and then have a look at it, but I'll just give you the gist. So basically through the qualifying session I qualified first in Division 4. So that meant that with the first 4 there was a reshuffle, kind of like a reverse grid kind of start, where whoever was in qualified first, they would be placed in 4th position. Now the way IKC is set up is that I believe it's the first 35 drivers would score championship points, and that's including all divisions, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. So basically for Division 4 there was no championship points that were being able to be obtained through the race, and that's even if you placed first. So main objective is to try to qualify higher and get into at least Division 2 or 3, and that way you have maybe an opportunity to get some points, otherwise you will stay at the bottom of the championship.
Hey Kelby!
This because he's injured.
What happened?
Pulled a muscle, so
Oh, nice.
You good?
That's right, I'll set him up with you.
Had a couple of crashes?
he's just standing there.
What was it? What happened on the second one? That one there. Yeah.
Okay, this is your final warning. You've been bumpy, you've overtaken, alright? You can overtake because he got foul played, but please, alright? No more bumping, I'm going to give one warning, alright?
Right.
Okay? You guys.
As in,
To make sure everyone understands.
Now without a doubt Colby wrong in both instances on that. I can almost see why he was trying to pick that inside line on that first corner, but obviously experienced people know that that was going to close off pretty fast, so that could have been avoided to start with. The only other thing is that with the IKC, this is not a professional karting championship, so you are going to have people who are arriving who are amateurs. Now this was Colby's first ever race, so obviously there are lessons that need to be learnt, and it's best for us as drivers to try to remain composed. You can definitely have a discussion, providing that all aggression and hate is let go by the time that you would like to approach the person to have a discussion, just to let them know or teach them the ways of karting. So yeah, while I do understand the frustrations, I do believe the fingers and all that was a bit unnecessary.
Put in the accelerator for me.
Now it's race time. Trying to get into the groove, trying to find and think of ways to pass. Now you are going to notice that it's going to be quite difficult for me to find places to pass. You will notice, similar to what I explained in the qualifying video, that I'm trying to look for corner speed to try to get the exit speed as fast as possible, because being a bit heavier than the other gentleman, obviously I don't have the straight line speed, and you will notice on a lot of occasions where I'll get right up behind the person in the corner, get an overlap, but unfortunately their bigger top speed on the back straights would allow them to just continue to take off, and basically the passing opportunity is lost. Here's the first stoppage of the night, hitting towards a red light. At the time we had no idea what was going on. but I think later on we worked out that the front pack, us four, took off. Basically the leader in the cart just went full bullet to gate, flat to the floor, prior to the start finish line, which then created a lot of gaps and a lot of space between the starting pack and the rear pack, and therefore they've just stopped us and brought us all back to restart and try to bunch the pack up more to keep it even. Now, as you can see, again, the guy in the yellow helmet has just disappeared, and I've just kind of got held up by third place. So unfortunately, you can't overtake until you hit that start finish line. So that's the reason why the hand's gone up. And then straight away there on the left hand side, another cart broke down, which is going to create another stoppage as well. Now, for the sake of your sanity, I'm about to cut out about 5 minutes of waiting around for a cart change to happen. And of no surprise to anybody, yellow helmet has just pinned it to the floor and just taken off. The moment I saw this move, I was basically so thrilled because I knew I was going to get that inside line right there. Now, coming up over the next lap or so, I make a lot of ground on the corners. I was starting to get a bit demotivated just because he was taking off a fair bit. He seemed to get into a really good groove, but there was a few mistakes that he made, as well as my consistent driving, that got me a bit closer to his tail. The hardest part was trying to line up a corner where I could dive down the inside. The main dive corner is this main corner right here. That was best overtake move throughout the whole night, but the problem is with his high top speed, I could never get to the inside of him before that corner. Hats off to the driver too. He was driving a very, very smart race the whole time, and that's what also made it so difficult, because most of the time where he's taking the corners, he's not driving all the way from the outside to the inside, as referenced right here. He's about midway into the corner, knowing that that will try to deter me from taking that inside line. Now obviously he's not aware that I don't have as much of top speed as him. He kind of thinks that we're engaged in a bit of a follow going on. the whole time I'm driving now, I'm, as you can see, taking a bit of a break with driving one-handed, but I'm also trying to assess his constant patterns to see if I can find anywhere where I am gaining ground similar to this, but I can gain an advantage too. The issue with it is most of the places where I was gaining an advantage on him, he had it covered like that, always having the inside line in that circumstance, not allowing me to get around the outside to have the inside line on that corner. The driver's about to make a critical error, and that is hitting it way too wide on that corner, losing a lot of speed, having to try to tighten up, and then what that has done is given me the inside line on that instance there. He was pretty quick to get it back though, forcing his way on the inside right here. And then bang, we've got a yellow light. Now I wasn't privy as to when the yellow light come on. I thought I still had a nose ahead once it did, so I was a bit shattered. But yeah, simply not exactly sure why this yellow light was called. I can't see, reviewing the footage, I couldn't see anyone in a wall or anything like that. So it was very aggravating that they've just pulled on this yellow light to slow everyone down and just ruined my one and only chance of getting past this driver. I know, first thoughts was, is Colby on the track? No, but don't know what this guy was doing. I think he was just getting frustrated with being stuck in a conga line. Same as, you know, we all get frustrated about it. But I mean, yeah, this is the guy that once the yellows hit, he punted me in the back just briefly. And then, yeah, trying to come up on that inside line, that was never going to work. And I am under the suspicion that he was intentionally trying to break my end loose to ruin my momentum so he can get around me for a free pass. seems like we're coming up on some back markers. I believe we've made up a bit of pace as well with the person who was currently in first position, the yellow helmet guy. He did kind of get a massive lead towards the midway of this race, where right now he'd normally be passing us on that inside line. So it looks like he's just dropped off the pace a bit, realising he's got a bit of time, and so he's just coasting all the way to victory lane. Yeah, we're just watching these guys from behind. They look to be getting a bit aggressive, trying to really race each other hard. So the main thing I was just trying to sit back and wait for was a bit of a collection, which basically happened right there. That helps me get around or get another position. So unfortunately, that little collision there did separate me from my buddy in number 23 that I've been racing this whole race. So I don't think I'll be catching him by the end of this session now. And also I would have to be passing this back marker that's sitting in between. Now this is the last lap, and as we go around, obviously there's no moves I'm going to be really making in this last lap, so it's just a nice sort of cruise to the finish. And yeah, while we didn't make up as much ground as what I would have loved to have made, we did however have a great experience, a bit of hard racing here and there, and definitely look forward to the next round, which we'll be having at Le Mans. On the Penrite track. It is a outdoor track, faster karts, and a hell of a lot more passing opportunities. And I'd just like to thank you for watching. Just remember, if you do like the content that I'm putting out, please feel free to subscribe, even like the video. And look, if there was things that you didn't like, by all means let me know, and I'll try to accommodate your feedback as much as possible. But until next time, enjoy yourselves, be safe, and live life to the fullest.
That was interesting.